says that I'm live. Of course, you know, I always want to wait a second, make sure that it's actually streaming. So I'm just having like thoughts in the moment, and I feel like I should probably just express them the quickest, fastest way possible so I can move on with my day. And so I've been having conversations with some of the people that come in and out of my life, and reminded me of one of my dad's friends, Mike Watkins. You know, like, how old would they be now? My dad died in 2011, so 10 years-ish. Yeah, so my dad 10 years, so my dad's 64. My dad should be 74 right now, if he didn't die. That's a whole nother story that we could get into about how and why my dad died. But Michael Watkins was my dad's best friend, and he died much earlier. And this short video was just as a kind of a reminder to me to circle back to it later, to talk about Mike Watkins and Butch, my dad, Fred, Bill, everybody at Monte Vista High School that all got forced by the U.S. federal government to get a gun and go to Vietnam. Back in the 60s. I mean, Mike Watkins was the one that sprung to mind when I was thinking about all that stuff back then. My Aunt Cody's probably the only one that's just, you know, knows that story kind of backwards and forwards. She's into all that. What is it with your family when they know, you know, all the Ancestry.com and all that? But she's been doing it since, like, in the, you know, in the old ways with like book of life trees and stuff like that. Anyway, that's a really, really, really cool and interesting story that at some point should probably be shared. There's some really funny and cool stories about, you know, California and like military town San Diego with the Navy stuff going on, and like Camp Pendleton with the Marine Corps right there. Anyway, my granddad and Korea and World War II, and that battleship in World War II that was named after our great-grandfather. All just really interesting stuff. But it's just coming to mind real quick while I was eating some grapes, so I wanted to throw it out there. Oh yeah, okay, I know. What made that come to mind was all these older gentlemen who are, you know, Vietnam War vets or whatever. Us just chatting it up, you know, talking about stuff that I remember my dad talking about. So these guys and I have, you know, quite a bit in common. And Mike Watkins came to mind when I was thinking about my friend Brandon and my friend Dave. In a way, you know, because Mike Watkins and Brandon and Dave all died of the same thing. Oh, and my Uncle Fred kind of died of the same thing in a way, I guess, too. And who knows, maybe my aunt and uncle, Billy and Mike's, and Austin's mom and dad could have died in sort of the same way. I don't even know. I'm not a doctor or a lawyer, but all I think is that it's real interesting subject matter. You know, draft and all that. All right, well, that's it. Just thoughts.